Chapter 23. Sri Sadguru said, "Now I shall proceed to tell you the life story of Sri Krishnasoori, Periyavachan Pillai, the founding father of our family line. Hearken this pious account that enhances the joy of the listeners. There is a serene village named Shankapuram, Senganur, situated near Kumbakonam on the banks of the river Subramanya Manniyaru. There lived a Vaishnava named Krishnasoori who possessed single-minded devotion to Lord Krishna, the spouse of Devi Lakshmi, right from his childhood. He was a disciple of Kalidvamsa. He was endowed with all noble qualities and was devoid of lust and anger. He was ever engrossed in deep meditation on Sri Krishna. He thoroughly analyzed all Shastras, starting from the Vedas in detail. Finding Vishnu Bhakti to be the quintessence of all of them, he obtained untold bliss. Based on this finding, he wrote very elaborate commentaries on the Divya Prabandha verses of the Alvars and the Srimad Ramayana. He led a happy life, ceaselessly engaging in singing the glories of Sri Krishna and giving discourses to the people of that place on the divine attributes of the Lord. Krishnasoori, the most intelligent man, along with his amicable wife, set out on a pilgrimage to Tirupati, longing to have the darshan of Sri Bhagavan, Lord Venkatesha. Walking all his way through forests, many important villages and towns, by the time he reached Tirumalai Tirupati, he was thoroughly exhausted. Deriving great joy in chanting the names of Lord Govinda, he climbed the hill with intense desire to have the darshan of Sri Bhagavan. He had holy dips into the many sacred streams found there. Then he prostrated to Lord Varaha, enshrined near the main temple, and bowed before Garuda pillar at the entrance, and entered the temple. In the sanctum sanctorum, Sri Krishnasoori had the darshan of Lord Srinivasa, the master of the entire universe, the ocean of compassion, the imperishable supreme being, the Purushottama, the one who augments the spiritual bliss of the bhaktas, the one who blesses people with all coveted boons, and the one who is the ultimate refuge of all. The ravishing beauty of the four-armed Lord, adorned with fabulous jewels, the disc and the conch, whose chest is marked with the insignia of Shri, and whose charming and radiant countenance was like the full moon, brought rapturous joy to the heart of Sri Krishnasoori. Having the darshan of the Lord appearing dazzling like the bluish black cloud, he fell to the ground like a staff and paid obeisances. He was overwhelmed with loving devotion. His eyes shed tears of joy, and his hair stood on end. Thus, that ardent devotee developed uncontrollable desire to have the darshan of the most handsome Lord Sri Govinda daily. Hence, he stayed at Tirupati for a long time, forgetting all his relatives. One day, a Vaishnava came to him unexpectedly. He handed over a shaligrama, Lord Vishnu appearing in the form of a small stone, to that devotee and said as follows. The Vaishnava said, "O most fortunate man, welcome. Be thou blessed with all that is good. O illustrious Brahmana, take this shalagrama, Lord Vishnu, who has come to you. Go to Shankapuram soon and pacify your parents. Those elders are greatly aggrieved due to your departure from there. Abiding by Dharma and rendering kind and loving service to your parents, stay at home and carry on the puja of this salagrama." Sri Krishnasoori replied, "I am not satisfied having the darshan of Lord Govinda all these days. Hence, I shall stay here and perform regular puja of the shalagrama. The Lord of Tirumala, Srinivasa, is everything to me. He is my father, my mother, my relatives, my friends, and, well, Devotion to Lord Vishnu is its own fruit and all that one wishes to achieve. Will anyone like to lose it, taking recourse to the worldly duties which lead one to the enjoyment of pleasures available in the Swarga? The Vaishnava said, O Brahmana, the Lord will present himself at your place, drawn by your ardent devotion. Hence, do not be grief stricken due to the separation from Sri Bhagavan. Sri Sadguru continued. Thus saying, he pacified the devotee Krishnasoori, who possessed unflinching faith, and directed him back to Shankapuram. That blessed man collected the Shalagrama with ardent devotion. Observing all austerities, he started for his village accompanied by his wife. He passed through many places, singing the glories of Sri Krishna. Thoroughly exhausted, he arrived in the vicinity of Shankapuram. He took his bath in the river North Kaveri, Koliroon. Lord Vishnu, who was in the form of Shalagrama, suddenly vanished. Krishnasoori, the best of the Brahmanas, finished his ritualistic offerings of water and came back to see the Lord. Finding the Lord missing, he was struck with grief. Later, he searched Shankapuram and paid his respectful venerations to his parents. He narrated to them with all devotion all that has transpired since he left that place. Deeply afflicted with the pangs of separation from Sri Bhagavan, that illustrious Vaishnava lamented and wailed, foregoing food and sleep. Lord Vishnu, the ocean of compassion, appeared in his dream and informed him that he could be found in the vicinity of the Kaveri in that village. Along with all villagers, he searched the particular place and searched for Lord Srinivasa, Sri Govinda, the eternal benefactor of the Bhaktas. Lord Srinivasa emerged forth from that Salagrama and presented himself there in the most ravishing, handsome form that enhanced the joy of the onlooking devotees. Krishnasoori erected a stately temple for the Lord at Shankapuri with the help of the devotees. Along with the Vaishnavas of that place, he brought Lord Srinivasa, the deity, and installed him at the temple. Even today, at Shankapuri, the devotees worship Lord Srinivasa, the eternal patron of the surrendered devotees, adored by Sri Krishnasoori. Thus ends chapter 23, entitled Krishnasoori Charitam of Book 2 of Sri Vaishnava Samhita, composed by Shri Krishna Premi Swamigal.